Cherchez-vous un emploi dans les établissements d'enseignement supérieur en Afrique? Ne cherchez plus loin. African Education Jobs Board vous fournira des emplois disponibles via sa plateforme. Sur notre plateforme, vous trouverez une variété d'offres d'emploi classées par secteur et profession. Des sections sont aussi disponibles pour des informations sur les carrières ainsi que sur les pays africains. Toutes les informations dont vous aurez besoin en fonction des descriptions et d'exigences du poste sont accessibles sur le site. Si vous recherchez un emploi dans l'enseignement supérieur sur le continent, visitez notre portail dédié www.africa.edujobs.com. Pour des mises à jour sur le marché de l'emploi, vous pouvez également nous suivre sur Twitter et Instagram à AfJobsBoard. Cherchez-vous un emploi dans les établissements d'enseignement supérieur en Afrique? Ne cherchez plus loin. African Education Jobs Board vous fournira des emplois disponibles via sa plateforme. Sur notre plateforme, vous trouverez une variété d'offres d'emploi classées par secteur et profession. Des sections sont aussi disponibles pour des informations sur les carrières ainsi que sur les pays africains. Toutes les informations dont vous aurez besoin en fonction des descriptions et d'exigences du poste sont accessibles sur le site. Si vous recherchez un emploi dans l'enseignement supérieur sur le continent, visitez notre portail dédié www.africa.edujobs.com. Pour des mises à jour sur le marché de l'emploi, vous pouvez également nous suivre sur Twitter et Instagram à AfJobsBoard. Cherchez-vous un emploi dans les établissements d'enseignement supérieur en Afrique? Ne cherchez plus loin. African Education Jobs Board vous fournira des emplois disponibles via sa plateforme. Sur notre plateforme, vous trouverez une variété d'offres d'emploi classées par secteur et profession. Des sections sont aussi disponibles pour des informations sur les carrières ainsi que sur les pays africains. Toutes les informations dont vous aurez besoin en fonction des descriptions et d'exigences du poste sont accessibles sur le site. Si vous recherchez un emploi dans l'enseignement supérieur sur le continent, visitez notre portail dédié www.africa.edujobs.com. Pour des mises à jour sur le marché de l'emploi, vous pouvez également nous suivre sur Twitter et Instagram à AfJobsBoard.
Looking for a job in higher education institution on the African continent? There is no need to go looking. The Africa Education Jobs Board will deliver available jobs to you via our platform. To start your search, visit our website. On our website, you will find variety of job postings classified by the sectors and professions they belong to. There are sections devoted to variety of career-related materials, as well as information on African countries. All information you require based on the job description and requirements are accessible on the site. If you are looking for a job in higher education on the continent, use our dedicated portal www.africa.edujobs.com. For job market updates, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at AfJobsBoard. Looking for a job in higher education institution on the African continent? There is no need to go looking. The Africa Education Jobs Board will deliver available jobs to you via our platform. To start your search, visit our website. On our website, you will find variety of job postings classified by the sectors and professions they belong to. There are sections devoted to variety of career-related materials, as well as information on African countries. All information you require based on the job description and requirements are accessible on the site. If you are looking for a job in higher education on the continent, use our dedicated portal www.africa.edujobs.com. For job market updates, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at AfJobsBoard. Good morning, good afternoon. You are all welcome to the 5th edition of the Jobs Board Enhancing Human Capital webinar. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. I see Wilson, you are welcome. You can put in the chat session your name and your university as we welcome you, or you can introduce yourself by your name in the chat. You can please do that in the chat whilst we welcome you. This is the 5th edition of the Jobs Board Enhancing Human Capital webinar, which we are going to speak or explore artificial intelligence in higher education, a complement or supplement to human efficiency. You are all welcome. I see Wilson, you are welcome. I see Ishmael, I see Yusuf. You are all welcome to the 5th edition of the Jobs Board Enhancing Human Capital webinar. Okay, so I see Professor Romi from Higher Education Commission. You are welcome, sir. You are all welcome. So our time is already up and we would like to kickstart. Before we start, we would like to call on the project manager for the African Jobs Board. So the African Jobs Board is a project being run here at the AAU, which serves as a platform where higher education institutions can advertise their jobs, and it cuts across the African continent. Both academic and non-academic jobs can be featured on the platform. And to visit the platform, you just have to type www.africa.edujobs.com to view the platform for yourself. So without wasting much time, we'd like to welcome the project manager for the African Jobs Project in the person of Mr. Frank Assefa to give us a welcome address. Mr. Frank, if you can hear me, please take the podium.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, I can be heard. Welcome again to today's webinar. We are here to discuss about AI, which has been the current trend across the world in how it is able to ease productivity and support us in a lot of things that we do now going forward. We see a lot of companies have invested a lot in artificial intelligence, and that has necessitated this webinar that helps us to dive into it and see how it can also be of help to academicians and also all of us who are here. So we have a very interesting topic today to be able to discuss. And we have our speaker, Mr. Emmanuel Obobi, who would be helping us with the discussion. He has a presentation that he would make, and also he would be able to help us to be able to really understand it. And there'll be time for question and answer. So while the program is going on, please feel free to type your questions in the chat. We would compile all of them and then allow him to answer them so that we can all be able to learn more from this session. I wish you all a fruitful webinar, and I hope you enjoy your day. Thank you very much. I hand back to Comfort.
Thank you very much, Mr. Assefa, for such a warm welcome. So before we kickstart, or before any other thing, we would like to play the Jobs Board adverts one more time, which will give you more information about the Jobs Board project. Thank you, and please stay connected. Looking for a job in higher education institution on the African continent? There is no need to go looking. The Africa Education Jobs Board will deliver available jobs to you via our platform. To start your search, visit our website. On our website, you will find variety of job postings classified by the sectors and professions they belong to. There are sections devoted to variety of career-related materials, as well as information on African countries. All information you require based on the job description and requirements are accessible on the site. If you are looking for a job in higher education on the continent, use our dedicated portal www.africa.edujobs.com. For job market updates, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at AF Jobs Board. Okay, thank you all for staying connected, and those who joined us recently or those who just joined, we welcome you all to the 5th edition of the Jobs Board Enhancing Human Capital webinar, which we are exploring AI in higher education being a complement or supplement to human efficiency. So at this time, we would like to welcome the Assistant Project Manager to give us a brief presentation on the Jobs Board, what the Jobs Board project is about, and what we have to offer everyone or higher education institutions on the African continent. Thank you. So, Mr. Larry, if you can hear me, kindly proceed. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon to everyone, depending on where you are joining us from. Kindly give me a minute. Let me share my screen. Okay, so can you all see my screen?
Yes, please, we can see your screen.
All right, so once again, good morning, everyone, depending on where you are joining this meeting from. I'm Sally Adams Larry, the Assistant Project Manager, African Jobs Board at the Association of African University. So, African Jobs Board was launched in November 2020 and has been the first website for the continent serving job vacancies, which includes academic and non-academic jobs at universities and higher education institutions across Africa, PhD opportunities, careers advice, and country profiles. So on our platform, you get profile of each and every countries on the continent. And the African Jobs Board aims to increase academic mobility by providing professional service roles within Africa and support the continental recruitment for African higher education institutions. So these are our main project objectives. One, to retain and cultivate excellent talent in Africa. To gain knowledge about African academic jobs market using the data and statistics produced. And 3, to provide career guidance to help job seekers hone their talent. 4, to share employment opportunities in higher education institutions across Africa. Okay, so the project has 3 partners. And of course, the first partner is Association of African Universities. Is a long-standing leader. We are the long-standing leader in the space of African tertiary education. Our mission is to enhance the quality and relevance of higher education in Africa and strengthen its contribution to Africa's development. We have Warwick. That's the Warwick Employment Group, provides worldwide employment opportunities for students, institutions, and their staff to maximize their potential in the workplace. Our organization, their organization is developed through a quality, ethical community approach, mirroring the aspirations of universities partners to fulfill the recruitment needs for higher education. We have Education Sub-Saharan Africa. They are an independent charity whose purpose is to join up, inform, inspire, and increase impact for everyone investing in education in Sub-Saharan Africa. So allow me to share some statistics on our platform. Number of jobs posted on the platform since inception is close to 7,000 jobs so far. And then that's over the 3 years. And the number of employees on the platform is 273. This includes University of Ghana, University of Cape Town, Kenyatta University, and the likes. And then on our social media, we've posted 289 tweets. We've had 289 tweets, 78.6% engagement rate, and then we have over 66,000 users of the platform. And then we have combined job applications. We have 1,656 via email. Those who apply for jobs on our platform since inception through email, 1,656, and then via URL, 9,277. We have 780 profile subscription and 2,787 job net. We have currently we have over 79,000 sessions on the platform. Let me also share some benefits of the Jobs Board. One, using the platform helps to improve your institution with exceptional African talent. And the platform also assists in educating tomorrow's thinkers or leaders, or future leaders. The African Jobs Board was created to benefit the entire education system on the continent, which has always been the goal of the Association of African Universities. So this comes to an end of my presentation. If you have any question, you can put it in the chat box and we'll respond to them accordingly. Thank you. So, I hand over to Ms. Comfort Ifia Yeboah to moderate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Saliu Adams-Larry, for such an amazing presentation. Before we proceed, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Comfort Ifia Yeboah, and I am the Sales and Marketing Representative on the African Jobs Board project, and I'll be your facilitator for today's webinar. So this was just a brief presentation. We heard from the Assistant Project Manager about the African Jobs Board. And please don't hesitate if you have vacancies in your institution which you need a continental reach. Kindly reach out to us via email, africanjobsboard@aau.org, africanjobsboard@aau.org, and we will update the chat from time to time. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram @AFJobsBoard. Thank you very much. And we have our resource person who is ready. But before I introduce him, we will play the Jobs Board adverts one more time to give participants or everyone here more information about the Jobs Board. So please stay connected and let us listen to the Jobs Board adverts one more time before our resource person takes over. Thank you all, and please stay connected. Looking for a job in higher education institution on the African continent? There is no need to go looking. The Africa Education Jobs Board will deliver available jobs to you via our platform. To start your search, visit our website. On our website, you will find variety of job postings classified by the sectors and professions they belong to. There are sections devoted to variety of career-related materials, as well as information on African countries. All information you require based on the job description and requirements are accessible on the site. If you are looking for a job in higher education on the continent, use our dedicated portal www.africa.edujobs.com. For job market updates, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram @AFJobsBoard.
Cherchez-vous un emploi dans les établissements d'enseignement supérieur en Afrique? Ne cherchez plus loin. African Education Jobs Board vous fournira des emplois disponibles via sa plateforme. Sur notre plateforme, vous trouverez une variété d'offres d'emploi classées par secteur et profession. Des sections sont aussi disponibles pour des informations sur les carrières ainsi que sur les pays africains. Toutes les informations dont vous aurez besoin en fonction des descriptions et d'exigences du poste sont accessibles sur le site. Si vous recherchez un emploi dans l'enseignement supérieur sur le continent, visitez notre portail dédié www.africa.edujobs.com. Pour des mises à jour sur le marché de l'emploi, vous pouvez également nous suivre sur Twitter et Instagram @AFJobsBoard.
Okay,
So those who just joined us, you are welcome again to the 5th edition of the Jobs Board Enhancing Human Capital webinar. Our resource person is ready. And to briefly introduce him, his name is Mr. Emmanuel Fianco Obobi, also known as Del P. So Del P is a renowned tech content creator known for his expert commentary on AI websites and smartphone reviews. His unique and accessible content led to his nomination for the Plus Influence Awards. Recently, he secured the Notable Content Creator for the Year's title at the Eminent Awards and also holds a nomination for the 2023 Creator Awards under the Tech Content Creator of the Year's category. His work is featured on reputable websites including Peace FM Online and Ghana Web, amplifying his influence within the tech industry. Del P's extensive portfolio includes collaboration with the esteemed companies such as Samsung Ghana, Techno Mobile Ghana, Itel Ghana, Binance Africa, Taylor Brands, MTN Ghana, and Yellowcard. His insights makes complex tech concepts understandable, benefiting both tech enthusiasts and corporations alike. With accolades and future projections on his horizon, Del P is set to continue shaping the tech content creation landscape. Mr. Emmanuel, please, if you can hear me, you can kindly take the podium. Thank you very much. And please, let's all stay connected.
Okay, thank you so much. That was a very long description of me, but thank you so much. To everyone on here, it really is a privilege to sit here to talk to you and share my knowledge on artificial intelligence in higher education, and to either choose if it's a complement or a supplement to human efficiency, or even maybe both. So without wasting so much time, I would share my screen right now to show you, to showcase my PowerPoint, and we can kick off from there. So I don't know if you can see my screen now.
Yes, please, we can see your screen.
Okay. I think this is the wrong one. Anyway. So we all know what artificial intelligence is and what it's about, right? So we all know that artificial intelligence has to do with something other than human intelligence, right? It's smarter, it's much more improved. It's supposed to be something that is going to aid us to make work easier for us. Now, by definition, from what I wrote here, it basically refers to the use of advanced technologies to simulate human intelligence in tasks requiring human intervention. Now, what this basically means is you really don't need to stress a lot to do things that previously you'll be doing with the help of artificial intelligence. And I know that most of us are new to this thing, and we think it's actually new, but it has been there for some time. And so we are now getting a fair idea of what it is, thanks to ChatGPT, but I'll be getting more into that. Now, in context, I want to make sure that we, at the end of this projection or at the end of this seminar, or webinar, sorry, we will have to understand that we need to really integrate AI into higher education globally. And I can tell not everyone here is Ghanaian. I can see names that are from other countries as well. So hopefully, globally, we end up adopting this new technology. Now, moving on, is AI a supplement? Let's look at it individually. Let's start from the supplementary parts. Let's see how AI can be a supplement, and one of which is to automate routine tasks. Okay. Generally, that is what AI is supposed to do, help with automation. It's going to randomly automate your tasks and make things easier. I'm sorry if you can hear birds chirping on my window. I don't know what they're doing here now, but please forgive me if you can hear that as well. So yes, basically, AI can handle routine administrative tasks. So initially, you'd have to do the paperwork. And trust me, I'm somebody who loves to write a lot. I have a diary here, which has almost everything if I'm about to make videos, I write them down. And trust me, I love to do that. But with the help of AI, I don't need to do any of these anymore. Okay, all I have to do is to tell the AI that is doing that specific task, because there are AIs that are specific to key tasks to help me do that. And one of which is, again, the routine automation, of administrative tasks. So in the educational setting or in higher education, you need to understand that instead of you manually doing these things, there's AI that can do that for you. Examples include the grading system, which could be done. I think it's even a thing now. It's things people are accepting now. Previously, we had to write. I've been a teacher before myself, and I realized that we had to write the scores down, tally it with some things, add it up, and then proceed to give who became first, second, third, which was a bit of a headache for me. We have this big leaflet we were filling our forms with. We're filling the results with. Now with AI, you don't even have to do any of that anymore. You can just, with the help of a website or something tailored towards the institution's preference, just go ahead and then create a grading system that could easily help you grade it. Of course, you need the manpower to input the grades, because the AI is not going to do that for you yet. There's not that efficiency yet, but manually you need the manpower to just key in the results. They just need to enter the results, and it's going to go ahead to help grade your system for you. Data analysis, you have a lot of data to analyze. With AI, you could easily go ahead and start analyzing it without stressing, and it's going to make even more complex stuff a little less tedious. And what this does is it's going to cut out time and give you the time to do other stuff or focus on other stuff with the help of AI. Another interesting thing that I really love now and I would like to go into is personalized learning. Now, with personalized learning, I know most of us, I don't know how many of us here are lecturers, but I know there are most people here who are also students. And this is one thing I always say, as somebody who has been a witness to having different teachers come to teach a specific subject in my school as a result of, little hitches here and there, I witnessed one thing, that no matter what a teacher, if a teacher comes into your class and teaches you something, there is a style attached to it. There's a way the teacher will present the said topic, or lecturer, let me use the lecturer in this case, will present the said topic for you to understand. And as humans, you'd realize that the way this particular teacher will present it might not be something you'd understand. And even as an example, me talking here right now, most people would not grasp everything I'm saying. And so if we replace it with someone else who came to do the delivery or the presentation, they would have a better grasp of it as well, depending on how the person delivers it. And this is a problem with most higher education institutions, because there are lots of students, there are lots of people who one specific teacher is supposed to teach, and not all of them would understand what the teacher is teaching. The lecturer is teaching. So what the AI with personalized learning will do is to get data from the students individually and analyze how their learning patterns look like, then be able to give the lecturer feedback based on how this particular individual understands stuff, so that the lecturer knows how to distribute the information or distribute whatever they want to teach accordingly, so as to get the students to understand. So from my PowerPoint, you can see that AI can analyze individual learning patterns and preferences, enabling the creation of personalized learning experiences. So it basically tries to get you to understand it based on how you can assimilate, or based on how you can understand whatever is being taught to you. I'm sorry if I'm talking fast too as well, please forgive me. And yeah, so it can supplement traditional teaching methods and then cater into diverse learning styles. You are going to get different learning styles instead of, being just one way and boring the students off. And as a student too, the AI is going to help you, modify your way of understanding. It's going to take you through a process. And all of this is done by data collection and data entry. As we move on, I'll give you examples. There are examples like we have Khan Academy, which is, I think, is a much more common website where everyone goes to learn something, but you have to pay. But what Khan Academy will do is, because it's a widely recognized online learning platform, it utilizes AI to provide personalized learning experience in subjects ranging from mathematics and humanities. And what this will do with Khan Academy is it provides exercises. And from the students' performance through these exercises, it's able to analyze that, no, the way this particular student answered this question could have been better? Or the way the student answered this question means the student has a different understanding of this, which can then use that particular feedback or data with the help of AI to give a much more personalized approach to this particular student in order for him or her to understand whatever is being taught later on. I mean, we know it's an online platform. There are other platforms like Coursera. And for those of you who have kids, there's one known as Dreambox, which is for K-8 students, kids who are in the kindergartens, and it's basically used for mathematics. And so based on the student's ability and trajectory, it tries to give it that pattern for it. Understand, AI has had this backlash that it's going to take our jobs, it's scary, it has its bad side. But generally, as human beings, we would either make it good or bad. And one of the good sides is this. Initially, as a teacher, you'd have to go to class, try and then, try and make yourself known to be able to be understood whilst you're teaching. But then in the back end, the students don't really get anything. With AI, you can reduce that stress of forcing yourself to make the students understand, but just following these patterns in order to help the kids or the students as well. Now, the next part has to do with efficient resource management. Every institution, every business, or generally in any field or industry, have a set number of resources they have to use. When it comes to universities, we have handouts, we have exam papers, we have other stuff we need to work with. With the help of AI, it's going to help you manage your resources efficiently. Like, the AI is able to predict that this is the number, or this is the actual number of things you need to be able to go through the entire semester with this particular thing. How many students do you have in your class? Again, most of these is basically achieved through data entry and data collection. So one thing I mostly advise people who come to me that want to venture into AI is to make sure that they take Python programming very seriously, because what artificial intelligence stems on is, how do we call it? Machine learning and natural language processing. And machine learning is mostly built entirely from Python programming. So you need to make sure you have a very good grasp of Python programming. In the beginning, it's very nice. It's very easy. It's quite straightforward. But once you enter or venture into the field of Python programming and machine learning and natural language processing, you end up having your head bug out a lot, because it takes a lot of time and dedication, as it involves you trying to get the specific trend or the specific thing for data analysis. And so you need to make sure that you're very keen on that and dedicated to that. So anyone on here who wants to dive into AI and wants to do the programming aspects by helping develop softwares or websites or even platforms that help with things like these, make sure that you have the backbone of Python at hand. I'm sorry for the mistakes. And so, yeah, that's one thing, efficient resource management. The AI is able to predict the kind of resources you need in order to help you maintain and manage it easily without stressing. I typed some examples down to announce it, but example with that is manufacturing robots and more, but I wouldn't want to waste so much time on that. So okay, but let me still give an example here. So there's one here right now, like predictive maintenance in manufacturing. For those of you in the manufacturing agency, an example is an AI algorithm can analyze data from sensors. Okay, I've worked in a manufacturing agency before. I was a quality control analyst at Voltec Ghana. I was on a water line, so we mostly produce the water for consumption. And one thing I noticed was there are huge machines that push out the water into the bottles. And these machines are being operated on AI. I'm pretty sure most of the people on the line pretty much don't know that AI is what is controlling it. Even though you have to manually input certain, you have to task it to do the said thing is doing at the moment, it's actually AI that is making sure that this is the right quantity of, 500 ml, this is the right amount of water that is supposed to go into the bottle, and then it pushes it next, goes to cap it, then after capping it, it wraps the rubber around it, then it goes to package it into the 12 or the dozen pack, and then pushes it out. All of this is being regulated by AI, and the only part where a human being comes in is when it's actually instructed to do it. So one way AI could help with resource management or efficient resource management is that, because now you've coded it to not go beyond that limit. If it was human manpower, if it was a human being who was feeding these bottles individually, they were going to do, it's not going to be perfect. Let's be honest. It's not going to be as accurate as the AI would do it. And that's one way AI helps with efficient resource management. And the last one for supplementary is support, 24/7 support. There's a ton of AI chatbots out there right now, and almost everyone is making an AI chatbot. And the most common one is ChatGPT. And you won't believe me if I told you ChatGPT helped me in bringing out this PowerPoint. It didn't help me do everything, but some points where I didn't understand certain things, the chatbot was there to help me understand and break it down for me to understand it. But all boils down to how you'd use it. All comes down to how you as an individual are understanding. And that's why there's something known as prompt engineering. You need to know how to ask these chatbots a question. So for instance, you have a project you are trying to do, but you need a brief introduction to something about the, how do they call it? Something about the topic, but you're not understanding how to break it down. Just be very intentional about how you ask it. Just like you talk to your friend, just like you're having a text message with your friend on WhatsApp, just open the chatbot and start texting the chatbots as a normal human being. They are designed that way to interact as humans, even though they are chatbots. So you need to know how to implement it. You asked it for an essay, it gave you more than you needed. Just again, prompt it back and say you just need it in 500 words. It's going to make sure it summarizes it in 500 words for you. Now, what this does again is it cuts your time. It cuts the time taking to, produce it manually offhead. And again, you get a much more structured version of whatever you need. So 24/7 AI-powered chatbots, and they can always provide instant support to students, even teachers and lecturers, and it's going to help with answering common queries and providing guidance, even outside regular office hours. It doesn't always have to be in class, even outside, because I think it's illegal. It's illegal to do that in class. So even outside working hours, you need to, you can get that and then move on. Now, let's look at AI being a complement. How beneficial is AI if it's a complement? I'm so sorry if I'm rushing this. I have to be at another event right away, so I need to make sure I get it quick so I can answer a lot of questions from you guys in the process. And one way AI could act as a complement with human efficiency in higher education is enhanced teaching and research. I know most of us, like I said, I think I mentioned it earlier. As a lecturer, you obviously find yourself doing research work and you end up wanting details, you end up wanting data, you end up needing certain information that would have to require you to go travel miles to get. With AI, you can just sit at the back of your PC, your laptop, just be at the back of your laptop. And with a few prompts or queries, you're good to go to get all the data you need. Also, when it comes to data input, okay, previously, I did a project on, when I was in school, I did a project on how to use, I did something with lemongrass. It was a singular project. So I was looking at how I could actually use the essential oil from lemongrass to reduce bacterial infection. So with such a project, I need to know the kind of bacteria I want to use. Do I want to use E. coli? Do I want to use Salmonella? What kind of bacteria am I looking at targeting? With AI, I just need to do a few entries. It gives me the amount of bacteria, because we have a lot of resources online now. So all the AI does is it gives me a list of bacteria organisms that are available that are susceptible to lemongrass or are not susceptible to lemongrass, and how it's going to work. If I had that back then, my project work would have been easier, but I didn't have that, right? But now we have it. We have resources, data entry points, data release points that's going to spit out these for you. So as a project, as a teacher, as a lecturer, as a student, you can use this to reduce and cut time. All I'm preaching here is AI is just here to make things easier for us. It's going to cut off a lot of time. And I understand that we are scared that it's going to take our jobs. But again, it's not going to give you the result if you don't use it. As a human being, you have to be at the back end regulating it, using it to do what it needs to do. and more. And so, yeah, like it says here, it can aid educators in developing more effective teaching materials, conducting advanced research, and staying updated on the latest educational. I know most of our lectures here are not technologically centered and they are used to the normal traditional way. I was asking myself this question: how did they manage to go to class without laptops and still do their projects? I hope a lecturer who didn't do that would be able to answer that after the section, because I don't understand. I don't know, but maybe because I'm used to this. Were you using typewriters? How were you going about, doing your project without laptops, smartphones? How was the research process like? How was going through research throughout your entire year in school, your entire years in school? How was it like? I really like to know, because now this is the trend now. And like I keep on saying, we were able to adapt laptops to have laptops in schools now. AI is coming. We are supposed to be able to adapt. It has come, actually. It's not like it's coming, it's here. We are supposed to be able to adapt it as well in our field or our line of work to make stuff easier. There's collaborative learning as well. What you are doing now is being engineered by AI. We are both learning. And I hope you people are understanding something. So we are both learning. We are both doing something through AI. Now, as I'm teaching you here, it's virtual. We have people in different countries now watching what is going on. And this is all thanks to AI. Zoom uses artificial intelligence to get the images you're seeing, to get, I'm able to showcase a PowerPoint presentation to you guys whilst talking on the video, connected my microphone, talking through this microphone. This is technology. This is all artificial intelligence. The app needs to understand all the processes going on to understand. So it aids in collaborative learning a lot globally, which allows people to collaborate without having to stress looking for people. Once you go online, social media, you find groups that teach a similar thing. There are even schools that have apps and websites that allow students to connect through that. And all of these is being engineered by AI and machine learning. The next one is skill development, and this is essential. It's very scary out here, right? Finding a job can be very difficult in recent times. And so one way to not fall victim of not having a job after school is to have a skill. And one of the ways you can get a skill with AI is to, one, learn a skill that requires the use of AI. There are websites like 10web.io, and this website would help you create a website. It's funny, but it's a website that would actually help you create a website in a matter of seconds. And all you need to do is to just describe what you want to build, the kind of website you want to build. It's not perfect. And no, it's not going to take the work of web designers or web developers, because of course it's not perfect. But there are platforms like WordPress where you can just create a website by doing a few drag and drops, designing process. All of this is AI. If you can learn that skill, if you can learn how to use this platform, you're good to go. You can use a website like Canva. You don't necessarily have to go designing the graphical work from scratch. Now they have AI inbuilt. You just have to describe the kind of graphical work you need. It pushes out to you, you tweak it, boom, you are an official graphic designer without needing Photoshop. There's video editing. Now some apps, even there are some AI websites like InVideo.ai, which will help you generate videos from scratch. I'm a TikToker and a tech content creator who makes content on social media. And with all of these coming up, sometimes I'm scared that, hey, so now somebody can just, the person doesn't necessarily have to sit down, like I'll sit down in my set lights and everything, and then put out videos out there. They don't need to do that anymore. All they have to do is to describe, put in the title of the video, and voila, they start creating videos from scratch without even having to show their faces. Because we know most people are shy to show their faces. They don't even need to use their voice. They don't need to do anything. All they have to do is, with the AI, a video is generated and they start uploading, and now you have a skill. You are a content creator without having the editing skill. But then again, this all boils down to you not losing a touch of creativity, because you always have to play with your creativity a little bit to improve. Because in the end, what do you want to achieve with just using the AI? You need to be on the back end trying to be more, creative with your work. Now, the other part about it being a complement, which is the last one, is adaptive assessment. AI can help assess the results of students to identify their progress. And I've said this earlier, it can help identify their progress, understand their strengths and weaknesses, understand how the student is performing in class. And again, all of this is mostly going to be specific to the schools or the institution's way of trying to assess this. The school would be the one to be the way to program or design a software or an app to be able to do these things for them. So, I mean, I can't really pinpoint specific examples for things like that. But obviously, if you want to do it, you're going to be able to, use these platforms like Khan Academy, Dreambox, Smart Sparrow, and more to, get these assessments for yourself. But alternatively, again, you can actually create one based on your institution. Now, the last, sorry, this is not the last one, but this is the benefit of AI integration. How beneficial can it be? And I've made sure I've mentioned all of it. Personalized learning, like I said, it's going to be able to tailor down educational content to specific needs of the students and help them, become better at learning approach with better learning approach and more. And then efficiency, again, which would help cut down the cost of worrying about the limits to what you need to use in the institution. And you also get data-driven insights, which helps you collect data and understand what is going on. So I've brushed on this already. We need to go on to the next one, which is accessibility. Now, you have access to so many AI tools on there. Students with disabilities, for example, speech-to-text software, speech-to-text websites, like these websites that convert speech-to-text. So if somebody who can't hear in an institution, all they need to do is to have a speech-to-text software which converts speech to text. So if they can't hear and they can't see, they can just read what you are trying to inscribe to them. If they can't see but they can hear, there are text-to-speech websites or AI softwares too as well. Key in the text and they can hear. If they can't do both, I still think they're trying to discover something like that for them. But for now, they would have to use what they normally do by those things they normally press on. But for those people, they're special people, so I'm pretty sure they would come up with something for them. But yeah, if these disabilities, whether you can't see but can hear, you can see but you can't hear, these have solutions thanks to AI, and they can just be in the class with regular people and still have classes going on smoothly. And with AI, you can easily get all of these done in class. Now, cost savings. Automation actually cuts cost a lot. And this is the part that gets scary, because initially things that you'd need a human manpower to do that aren't too technical, you can just cut those people off and invest into AI and then move on to, focus on other stuff. So it's one, reduces operational cost and also helps cut time in general. A global reach, like I said here, with the help of AI, we're able to communicate globally and to other people in other countries. You can set up meetings, you can join group sessions from Facebook, Instagram, other educational platforms. There's this section on Coursera where I was taking a cybersecurity course on Coursera, and I realized that you can actually just leave a response there, and you can see other students from other countries' response on there as well. So it helps with global reach, and it helps drive, get the way, if you connect with people outside, you realize how they think, how they do their stuff, and all of this is thanks to AI. Now, let's talk about strategies. If you want to go ahead to use AI, you need to have strategies in place to use it. As a complementary use, you have to make sure you establish clear objectives. Whatever you are designing the AI for, they are supposed to be tasks, they're supposed to be assignments, something that you require it to do specifically. These objectives are supposed to be defined as specific goals for the AI integration in education. And since we are talking about education, it has to be very specific, because this is about people trying to learn and understand something. So you have to be very specific and keen about it. This allows you to enhance students' learning outcomes, and it helps with automative administrative tasks. I'm not going to stop saying that. I know that our lecturers here go through a lot of stress because they handle a lot of students. And so if you have AI to help automate administrative tasks, it's going to be very, very good. And you need to make sure, whilst you wanted to do that, you have to establish clear objectives for that. Collaboration and communication. I can't emphasize much on this. If you want them to develop an AI website, an AI app, an AI-based system for you as an institution, you need to make sure that the lecturers of that institution who need the AI for the students are collaborating with the people developing the software, the people developing the app, the people developing the website, so as to be able to know tailor down what is needed for the kids. Because if by any chance the lecturers are the ones who know much more about the students than anyone, so you can't just go out there and then let the vice chancellor communicate with whoever is going to develop the software, expecting the people developing it to know. If anyone would know best about the students' performance, it has to be the lecturer. And that's why I said here that you have to encourage open communication and collaboration between the educators and AI developers to co-design solutions that align with pedagogical goals. That word was very hard to pronounce, pedagogical. Anyway, so that is one thing you need to have in place to make sure that you're ensuring complementary use of artificial intelligence. There's also professional development. Now, when it comes to professional development, you actually, and this could be a money-making avenue. You could have people who would offer training to the lecturers who do not or might not know how to use these softwares, right? You have to train them and help them develop. Because I mean, up to now, we sometimes still have to, my dad like this, I still have to show him how to go through WhatsApp and how he can download an image on WhatsApp. So obviously, most of these things are not new to our fathers on here. And so sometimes they need to go through the training, the understanding, and how to, use these softwares to the maximum so as to be able to use it for the students to understand. And that is why, again, I said here that I offer training and development programs to help educators and staff become proficient in using AI tools and understanding their role in the education process. The other part is customization and personalization. If you want to create an AI-based system, it has to be tailored towards the way the institution wants it. It has to be personalized for the institution. It has to, let's look at the grading systems for most schools. I've seen one from UPSC, I've seen one from Care University, I've seen one from Legon, and they don't normally look the same. They all have different looks. And this is because the design was made to fit how the school wants it. The data entry or the data input process was designed to make to fit the way the school likes it. That's where customization and personalization comes in. So you talking to the individual building the software or the website for you, you need to make sure you have it customized and personalized to suit your preference. Again, what I said here was ensure that AI technologies are used to adapt and personalize learning experience to cater individual students' needs and learning styles rather than imposing one size fits all approach. Now, obviously, there's nothing that good that doesn't have a bad side. Everything has a bad side. And this is going to the end of my presentation. Potential drawbacks and challenges. There's so many privacy concerns. People are like, I'm giving this AI my data. I'm telling you who I am, where I'm from, giving it this entry. What is it going to do with it in case of anything? You get it? We need to understand that there are privacy concerns. It collects data a lot because what this AI is basically built on is data collection, right? It always is on data collection. You need the data to be able to output things for you. If you want an AI there are AI websites that could easily generate a picture for you. Before it can generate the picture for you, you have to give it data. You have to input something. You have to sign up on the website. You have to create an account with it, which has your information, your email, your password, your name, sometimes even your ID card. Even if you upload a picture of yourself as a profile photo, it has it there. You get it. Most of these social media websites are based on artificial intelligence and algorithms. As a content creator, what I've realized is the algorithm is always not your friend, and it tries to use the data inputs from you to feed your video to people. So on social media, what happens is you get people to like, share, comment on your videos, right? And these are data inputs from people who have created accounts with their email and password. And you can realize that there could be a breach. Then people's passwords have been leaked. People's data is outside and they are unable to get access to the account because somebody hacks into the account or uses the account for several dubious means. Our smartphones, they have artificial intelligence in them. And recently, you'd see people's sex tapes all over. This is basically because they probably entered some data somewhere. People got the chance to break into their smartphones and leaked these personal and very, very private information out there. Because of course, if they do that, they get money for it. So these are some of the potential drawbacks that could occur with AI. Now there's bias and fairness. So like I said, algorithms are mostly geared towards being biased or fair at times based on the kind of input it receives. So sometimes you might not even get the best out of it. And this is a drawback. This is a downside of AI. But again, if you have people who understand how it works and know what to put into what to make it work perfectly, you don't need to worry about this particular side at all, because this is like 1% of the issues that come with AI. But then it's a possibility. And like I said here, it can perpetuate biases present in their training data, potentially leading to unfair outcomes in grading, especially with that and admissions. But this rarely occurs because there are ways to, there are things you can implement to make sure that this doesn't happen. Because I mean, you can't mistakenly give somebody D+ when they had A+. It's going to devastate them. So there are ways, you can implement stuff to make sure that whoever is building the grading system, whoever is building the admission system should do it correctly. You can't deny somebody's admission because the AI denied it based on fairness or bias. And it's going to be very tragic. So there are ways to prevent this. Or there are technological gaps. Not all students have equal access to technology. I can tell you that. And from my research, I could tell that it seems weird, but some people still use what we call YAMS in school. So not everyone has access to smartphone. And that normally makes it a problem, because now if you ask them to input their results, you realize that even if they need to do it on a laptop, and most of these educational institutional softwares are mostly easily accessible on laptops. So he's not going to borrow somebody's laptop. He's not going to take somebody's piece of tech to be able to get access, which is not that much of a good thing. Shouldn't be that much of a problem, but if you want people to get into technology, you have to make sure they have equal access to technology as well to make the process seamless and very smooth. I'm sorry, I had a call, that's why it went off. Kindly forgive me. Now, the other part is over automation, okay? Sometimes we overdo it. We overly automate the system and it affects us in the long run. We try to overdo things as human beings. We want to make it super perfect that we end up overdoing everything, making it very, very, very bad. Now, the last two is quality control. Before any AI websites comes in, you need to make sure there's quality control. It has been checked thoroughly to avoid problems. It has been checked thoroughly to have nothing wrong with it. Like I said earlier, you can't be using it as a grading system and you give somebody D+ or an F even instead of an A+, which means this student has to go back to learn again to come rewrite or reset the paper. So we need to make sure quality control is a much more effective factor we look at. And the last one is security risk. Yes, again, like I stated earlier, increased use of technology can make institutions vulnerable to cybersecurity threats. Now that you have a grading system on there, now that you have that grading system via websites, some evil people would want to hack into the website to try and manipulate the results or try and change the results to suit what they want. Do you get what I mean? So this could be a security risk where people will breach. But again, you need to make sure you're building firewalls, you're building the right security protocols behind these websites, these AI platforms, to avoid it getting hacked and broken through. Now, my key takeaways to conclude, one is AI has the potential to complement traditional higher education, of course, as we can tell from the presentation. And careful planning and ethical consideration are very crucial. You need to make sure that you plan and know what you want to deliver, know what you want to give away, know what you want to do, know how to present it. And this is very crucial because if you don't do it well, again, I'll use a grading system as an example, you'd end up falling victim to most of the things. Now, balancing technology and human interaction is key for success. And I forgot to add this before I finished. Amidst all of this, AI always needs a touch of human interaction. It needs to have that human feel, that human touch. Otherwise, it's going to be too robotic, right? Because I used AI to develop a video script one time, and when I was reading through it, it was too robotic. So I had to flex it. I had to add a human touch. So what I did was I added a prompt saying that you are a tech reviewer reviewing and it was this device, reviewing the Infinix Smart 8, right? I had to review it, but I needed a script as inspiration. And when I made it that way, it felt human. Okay, so it gave the script out as humanly as possible, if that's a word. And it felt very, very natural. It felt very close. And that is where natural language processing comes in. And with natural language processing, what happens here is some of the AI could actually speak different languages. Like you can have ChatGPT conversing with you in Cree. You can have it conversing with you in Nigerian, how do they call that language? I've forgotten. Pidgin, right? Yes, you could have Yoruba, you could have most of their languages on there through ChatGPT. So if you're somebody who can read these other languages, all you have to do is to ask it to talk to you in that language and can start conversing. So every time, amidst all of this, it still needs the human touch, because one thing AI lacks is creativity. You have to tell it to do that for you. And that is where the human touch comes in. So in conclusion, I honestly don't have a side. I'm not going to say it should only supplement, it could only supplement, or it could only complement. A bit of both is great. Even more of both is actually great. As in general, it's going to help us achieve more in higher education. And again, when you're leaving, if you're somebody who is here and is going out there on the job market looking for a job, try and add technological skills to your portfolio, to your suit. Make sure that you have a skill at hand: graphic design, video editing, web design, web development, app development. You know something, a skill like that, because these are on-demand skills that you might not even need a job for if you have these skills. There's so many people earning a lot of dollars at home, and all they are doing is just sitting 24/7 behind their screen, coding their hearts out, developing websites, doing some graphical work, being photographers and editing. These are so much in demand recently that people are making lots and lots of money on. Join a freelance platform: Upwork, Fiverr, freelancer.com. Put your portfolio in there. Try and apply for jobs on there. Get people to hire you. Start making money in dollars. In our country, they don't charge like that. They don't say $20 per hour. You're not going to get it in this country. You get it maybe somewhere, I don't know, I haven't known yet, and I stand to be corrected. But as a freelancer, you can charge as high as $20 per hour, and you are home. You are here in Ghana. If you convert $1 today, you know how much it is. So you need to, try and invest in that. So yeah, this is where I'll end it. And I'll take questions from here so that I can actually fly for my next event. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. Very informative and educative. Personally, I have learned a lot. And I have learned that AI will completely not wipe away our jobs. We have to be creative in how to use or implement AI. So without wasting my time, I'm going to read out some few questions we have in the chat. We promised to close exactly 12 noon, so we will address the questions very fast. Okay, just the questions are a lot. Okay, so I have one question here from Judith Wafala. If one uses AI for research, there are questions on one who owns the work. What is your comment on this? If one uses AI for research, there are questions on the one who owns the work. What is your comment on this? Please, you can address this question.
That's a good question. I mean, you used it for research, and there are questions. I mean, I understand that I know that when I was doing my research with literature review, for instance, you mostly quote where you got your solutions, your answers from. Now, most of these AI websites, if you are using them to pick out points, these references they are bringing you, these results they're bringing you are collated from the internet. Most of them, not all of them do that, but most of them are collated from the internet. So obviously they picked it from somewhere. So the best thing you can do is to make sure that wherever you obviously reference the research paper. You obviously make sure you put in the reference there. So whatever you do, you need to make sure that it's just a short process. Keying the results, place it in a Google search, and then proceed to find out where these results are coming from. I would have done this, but I could quickly search for something with ChatGPT. I'll just highlight a section of it, put it in Google search. It shows me where this particular line was picked from or where it's coming from. Then I could use that as reference. I know we could reference websites, we could reference sources on there. So they're asking you where you got it from. They want to know where it's coming from. Since it's research, obviously you might pick it from somewhere. But the good side is use the method I just spoke about and then reference them where it's required so that you just avoid that. I hope I answered the question correctly.
Okay, thank you very much. So second question from Jiva. How can one change audio in Telegram to text? What software can one use? How can one change audio in Telegram?
There are lots of AI-based platforms out there, but if you are talking specifically about Telegram, you'd have to subscribe to the premium plan for now. They don't have external software to transcribe your text to speech or speech to text, vice versa. If you want to do that, it's a premium plan. You'd have to subscribe to premium. Unless you're somebody who dabbles around illegal stuff and you probably want to go the illegal way to download illegal software, but that doesn't even work. So you'd want to subscribe to premium stuff. For now, I personally haven't come across, and trust me, I saw that feature too, and I was wondering why I have to pay for premium to access the transcribing feature. So you just need to subscribe to premium for now as it stands. And I don't personally know any other software that could do it without having to pay for it.
Okay. So please, those requesting for the presentation and then the audio recording, please, it will be shared to you via email after this session. I see a lot of comments. I'm trying to get the questions out of the comments. Okay, something excellent presentation. Thanks, Emmanuel. Yes,
Thank you so much.
We are actually grateful. Great presentation. Nice presentation. Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Fianco,
Yes,
there
sir.
is one lady from Nigeria, Chinedum Babalola. She's asking, how can AI improve administration?
Yeah, so one of the things I mentioned was helping with administrative tasks. Okay, there was some examples I mentioned here on how it can do that, but I think I'll leave that in the chat or send it to her in a way. So in administration, right, there are so many things you do, okay, but it comes down to the particular institution's administration trying to build something tailored towards that institution. So administrative tasks are there to handle, like processing. When it comes to institutions, you are mostly processing applications that are coming in for the school. Most of these tasks can be handled by AI. But what you need to understand is it has to be built by the institution. It has to be built or made by the institution. And then again, that was when I was comparing the grading systems of different schools. These were built by the schools, especially in terms of the grading system. And so if you need it to help you with a specific administrative task, you can ideally build it. And there are people out there, not me, that create these platforms for it to help with that specific task. So I don't know if I can get an example of an administrative task that you need help with in regards to administration. And I could probably describe how it could, how you could go by working with it. Please forgive me for the chicken. I'll kill it for Christmas. Please forgive me. Yeah, so that's basically one way you could help with administration. You need to make sure that what you're building is tailored towards the institution and what fits for the administrative purpose it's designed for.
Okay, so someone is also saying, great presentation, Mr. Emmanuel, and I wish the team will organize something similar. Okay, we'll do our best. Another question here. With the way AI is going, what will be its effects on the creativity of the young learners? With the way AI is going, what will be its effects on the creativity of the young learners?
So one of which I've come to understand is laziness. If you're somebody who is not disciplined enough, you would end up relying solely on AI every time. I mean, they ask you a question in organic chemistry, you are supposed to draw a benzene structure and you have no idea how it looks like even, but you go to an AI website and you basically just have to copy the question and paste it in there. And all it does is it's going to show you how the benzene structure looks like. Or then you go back again to copy, paste it. It's going to kill your creativity, let's be honest. And it's going to make you lazy as well. So my fear is that if most people don't use it on a disciplinary basis, like you don't discipline yourself to use it in a way that instead of copying and pasting, you actually learn to understand. Okay, so I used AI to look for how a benzene structure looks like. I've seen it now. I want to practice how it looks like. I want to practice how it's drawn. I'll go on YouTube. I'll research how it's drawn. I'll research what a benzene structure is, what goes into the benzene structure, and what brought all these up. You get it. It improves you more. Like, even makes it quicker, because not every lecturer will get the time to go into detail about this. But then again, back to your question, the sad part is that if we are using it every time, relying on it the entire time, it will dampen our creativity, one, and then make us less productive in general, as in being able to come up with our own stuff instead of relying on AI. But that's the downside, and you can't really do anything about it, to be very honest.
Okay, thank you very much. There is a statement here from Andre. It says AI hallucinates. They do not give the correct citations. Please, can you pass or briefly say something about this?
And so there are websites now that can help with giving citations, like Jenny.ai. And sometimes you don't get the right site. But that's what I said. That's what I said in the beginning when the lady asked that first question. That if you get a response, try Googling it. Okay, just put it in a Google search. You're obviously going to get results that will come up. And it will cite it from different sources that the particular text came from. Okay, and all you need to do is to just go to that link, follow up. If it's a PDF file, follow up and then get your reference from it and then paste it there. I mean, I know we wanted to do almost everything for us. We wanted to cite, draft an entire literature review for us, but we can't always use it that way. It's not going to be helpful to us. So again, use the search on Google, follow links that are similar to what it is. You would obviously find the exact thing, because again, they're combining things from the internet. They are compiling things to summarize and push it out to you for you to understand. So yeah, you can use Jenny AI too if you want citation, except for the fact that you might end up, how do they call it, paying for a premium plan before you get more out of it. And then there's Samuel.ai too as well, which also does that as well. Samuel as in SAMWELL. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be wrapping up soon, but I find one question here which I would love us to address from John. He says, okay, how does one check if thesis or a term paper is written by a student using AI?
So I don't know if I'm supposed to give this out here, but there was a recent software that was developed. I think this is coming from a lecturer, right? This is obviously coming from a lecturer, but there's a software, I can't quite remember the name, that was developed specifically to detect the presence of AI. But unfortunately, there are softwares that have come to counter that. Again, I won't mention names again because I wouldn't want people going to use it, since I can't remember the actual software for the first one. But probably I'll leave it with Ifya in case you people have a group where she can share it into. And what this does is it actually identifies your softwares like that. You can easily Google and see AI softwares or AI websites that can detect AI in project work or project thesis. You get it. And so there are softwares like that could help. But again, like I said, there are websites again that have counted that, but it's not perfect. No matter what, it's going to hide. It's going to show something. Something will pop up for it to get it. So yeah, there are platforms like that there to help detect the presence of AI in thesis and project work.
Okay, so Mr. Fianco,
Yes,
we
sir.
have some participants online. Shaibu
Okay.
Bello
Yes, please.
has his hands up.
Okay.
If you can just allow him to ask his question.
Okay, Mr. Shaibu,
Yeah,
we're
Bello, you
listening.
cannot mute.
Mr. Shaibu, I think your mic is muted. You'd have to unmute it first.
Okay, thank you. I was
You're
trying to
welcome, sir.
unmute. It was not allowing me to unmute. This
No
is
problem.
just to address one of the questions you started. I got my first degree in 1984 when some of you were probably not born, and
Yeah, obviously.
got back to school. Just got back to school recently. And so what happened is that I am lucky that I'm a very early adapter of innovators. I'm among those groups who adopt innovation very well, quickly.
Okay.
So, and I remember when I was doing my early master's, I was among the first to have an internet, a dial-up internet in my city, and
Okay,
it
awesome.
assisted. Now, the thing people, what happened with AI is that AI is developing ahead of knowledge of the skill of using AI. So that I'm in medical education, so we need to teach students how to use AI to augment and assist their work. It has to be a skill that is taught. You can't just leave AI there and everybody just go to use it without even knowing how to benefit from it.
Exactly.
Now, so far, I've used AI as a professor to develop 3 books, but this is how it works. I'm already an expert in that area. So AI helped me in a short time to develop a profile and a format for a book and content. Now, I have to take time to review each of these content and the clauses and agree with it. And if I don't, I change it. I change the whole structure again, so that what I could do in 3 years, I do it in a month. That's what AI is for. Now, it depends on what you want to do with AI. If you are always the lazy type, then you take the lazy way and you start plagiarizing, you start copying. But if you think AI is a learning tool, then you learn how can this tool assist me to do my work more efficiently and faster. So what is the gap, I think, is that those of us in education need to go back and teach students the skill of using AI to optimize their work. Otherwise, it becomes a shortcut for the lazy student because he doesn't know better. So we need to counsel them, show them that AI is an assistant and it could help you optimize and do what you do faster and better. But it should not take over your creativity, because that is what is there to help. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we have Vinalo Chifuwandi. If I got your name right, you have your hand up. Please ask your question.
Okay.
All right. Are you able to get me?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm actually speaking with you from Zambia, University of Lusaka. It's been very good to be part of this presentation, which has been well presented. I find the artificial intelligence to be an opportunity and not a threat to the academia. This is supposed to be an opportunity to the academia to reflect on the way the academia has been training themselves as part of the trainers. When we look at the way lecturers and researchers are groomed in universities, we are so different from the way teachers at primary and secondary school are trained. Teachers at secondary school and preschools and primary schools actually go through the pedagogical training. Whereas the university lecturers and researchers is by virtue of having been one of the best in a class, and then a university picks you for staff development, and you proceed on to go and do your master's, come back, do your PhD, and in between, in most universities, we lack orientation towards the creation of wealth based on the subjects that we teach, that each subject that we teach has a component of wealth creation through innovation and creativity. And there is so much lacking of innovation and creativity, especially in our continent, Africa, because of abundance of certain things. I've always believed in myself to say that innovation and creativity comes in when there is an absence of abundance. You can see the originality of innovation and creativity comes from those areas where a lot of things are lacking. If you look at ourselves in Africa, where we have copper, diamonds, gold, the element of value addition lacks a lot because we have it in abundance. So that innovation, that mind of innovation and creativity does not come in. So for me, AI is not a threat, but an opportunity of reflection to go back to our tables and say, how do we groom and train ourselves as lecturers who end up training people who are going to industry? And these minds that we are sending to industry must be thinking wealth. So the AI is not a threat, but that which cuts on the time that you are going to spend on memorizing something that can be done within a short period of time. And you spend on time on how you can enhance wealth, be on natural resources or on innovative ideas like the same artificial intelligence. So we shouldn't be worried that we are going to lose jobs. What we should be now thinking of is how do we realign our training to wealth creation such that when I'm teaching accounting, when I'm teaching public administration, whatever course I teach, I should have an element to share with my students on how it relates to wealth creation through innovation and creativity. Because pedagogical is critical. Because you ask most of the university lecturers and ask them, where did you learn how to lecture? They pick it up from the way they were taught by another person. And how do you bring in the element of wealth creation? They will tell you that my subject does not have any element like that, but there is no subject that has no relationship with wealth creation. So when you come to University of Lusaka, we've made sure that all our programs have an element of entrepreneurship, be medicine, public health, accounting, law, everything, we have embedded that. And we have made it a point now that all our lecturers go through lecturing and teaching methodology, which is basically the pedagogical of teaching. So that we now with AI, it should be like I've said, it should be an opportunity. How do we now spend more time on research that will be of value adding and not academic production, where you have all these research papers in your libraries, where another researcher will come and make reference, but what we want is to see tangible benefits that we shall say that the educated people have produced wealth. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Thanks.
We have 5 minutes to wrap up, and then we are sorry we are not taking any more questions. Thank you very much. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. And thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. And please, those of you who still have questions, we apologize, but we need to end this section in 5 minutes. And we are really sorry. We hope to organize similar in the subsequent times, and we'll have ample time to address all the questions. Also, we are going to share the presentation and the recordings via your email you used in registering. So please, you will get that. And thank you very much. So we will take a brief closing remarks from Mr. Ajamai Otre-Darkon. Mr. Otre, if you are connected, please kindly come in and give us a closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Comfort Ifeabua, for the honor to be part of this event. I want to first of all express our gratitude to all our invited guests from all different spheres of the African continent. Your interest and dedication towards higher education and proper employment services has caused your time to be spent here meticulously towards this conversation. And to our invited guests who joined us on this platform, all of you, I want to say thank you so much. Our speakers, I appreciate your time, and I believe that the aftermath of this discussion would structure and inform proper policies and our employment fears within the higher education setting, and particularly to Jobs Board, a good work done and your ardent dedication towards providing quality information, and that will inform the African higher education employment scene is key. No one is doing it, you are doing it. So I pray that more grease to your elbow and keep coming up with amazing steps that will transform our employment and higher education, so we can get to the point we want to get to. At this very moment, to the leadership of Jobs Board, thank you very much. To our guest speakers and participants, thank you so much. Until we come your way next time with another interesting concept, I want to wish you all a good day, Asante Sana, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Otre. That's the AAU TV manager, and gave us a very brief and powerful closing remarks. Okay, thank you all for joining our 5th edition. And we should all have in mind that AI is not here to wipe away or take away our jobs, but we must be very creative in the use of AI. We are the human beings, we make AI, so we must be very creative in our use of AI. Thank you all very much. And please remember to reach out to the Jobs Board if you have any vacancies in your institutions, both academic and non-academic vacancies. We can help you circulate it. And then also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at AF Jobs Board. So until we meet again, thank you all for joining. We are much grateful, and we wish you all Merry Christmas in advance. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Everyone, bye-bye. It's good to be in the conference.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, and bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. So fruitful, very important meeting. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for all.